Welcome back to my cave, once again, humans. Alright, time to get serious. I'm actually gonna try that Let's Play. I've never done a Let's Play before, but I don't know, I feel like this is a good game to try it on. I don't want to explore every nook and cranny in the map. I kind of want to give the viewers a reason to buy the game if they like what they see. Because, I don't know, I feel like this is eventually going to be a pretty underrated game. I don't think people are going to remember this game from years to come, but maybe that's because I'm just worried because it's a furry game, and that tends to happen with a lot of furry games, or they just, it's complicated. And speaking of furry games, you want to know something I notice in a lot of furry games? They seem to take place in this dystopian future where anthropomorphic animals have replaced humans. I noticed that this is a pretty common cliche in furry games, or games with anthropomorphic animals, and I guess it's an easy way to explain why there are talking animals on planet Earth, without going into too many details. It's kinda hard to do without a script. You know what other cliche I seem to see a lot in media these days, and one I am really, really sick of? We have to show that humans are bad. Humans do all these
there he goes again with his misanthropic rants, just like he always does. That's classic Baalf for you. Doesn't that get annoying? Don't you want to hear someone else talk? Someone more pleasant? I mean, I can be pleasant at times, can't I? Don't you rather want—
I'm sorry, Big Matt, am I bothering you?
Well, to tell you the truth, yes, you're bothering me. You go on these stupid rants of yours all the time and—
Stupid? Don't even get me started.
You've already started.
Look, they're not stupid, okay? They're just a way for me to vent my anger out at media. Is that wrong? I mean, I have so many problems with modern media, and I want to get it all off my chest. Plus, I haven't really been in the mood to make a dedicated video based on my frustration with media.
I understand, Baalf. I understand. Well, maybe you could talk about something else, like the game, or maybe a book you're writing. I hear you're writing a pretty cool book.
That's not a bad idea, Big Matt. I guess I could try that.
Good, Baalf. Good. Plus, our big images are blocking the action. And there's a cutscene coming up soon. So anyway, later's, Baalf.
I haven't seen anyone this good in Torch City before.
Okay, I have a few nitpicks with that cutscene. I noticed it cut to black a couple of times. Not sure why it did that. Also, it didn't seem like there was as much oomph to some of her attacks as there could have been. But other than that, not a bad cutscene. I also have to comment on Rayton's voice acting. It was sloppy. Ugh, I've never seen anyone this good in, what was it called again? Oh yeah, Torch City before. Like he just momentarily forgot where he was at. Anyway, here we are in the second major area of the game, the power plant. This is where Rayton gets a license to drill. And I'm probably going to milk that phrase for all it's worth. License to drill, beep about. Alright, sorry about that. I was actually kind of just doing that for funsies. But anyway, let's see what we got here. Found another plant seed, I guess. Still not sure what to do with them. Also, this large corridor is kind of cool. Yeah, but it gets cooler later on. Just watch. Alright. Is there anything over here? Nope, I don't think I can go that way yet. Nope. Nada. Alright, time to go this way. We got more Imperial soldiers, but this time they got axes. Guess the iron dogs are up in the ante, huh? Then again, what do the axes do? Here we go. Actually, they don't seem to do much different than the swords. Don't worry, there's gonna be different enemies. Being able to grab your enemies and throw them into other enemies, there is just something legitimately satisfying if I can get it to work. Guess not. Oh, there we go. Didn't have an enemy to throw them at, though. Alright, what's in this room?
Have you heard? Farrell, the downtown boss, got dismantled by a rabbit. He got totally written off and was dragged off to the scrapyard. Maybe that rabbit has something to do with a power outage here.
No need to work ourselves into a panic. Farrell and his pals keep bragging about how big they are, but they're just a bunch of wimps. Our boss is a real fighter.
The boss doesn't care if we live or die. They say that the rabbit has a big iron fist on his back. He's no walkover either. The two of us are screwed if he comes here.
What do you take the power station for? It has the Legion's most powerful defenses. Nothing can get through. Just shut up and open the valve. Everyone's waiting for the power to come back on.
And then the opposite happens. Alright, let's see something get through. I actually haven't really... Oh. Did I just die? I'm alive again. Alright, I actually haven't mentioned the controls very much. Anyway, you got the square key, that's your light quick punches. You got the triangle key, that's your heavier attacks. And then you got the circle key, that's your grappling. Fatality! Oh yeah, and your fatalities. Don't forget the fatalities. They're called executions, but who cares? They're finishing moves. I call them fatalities. Oh yeah, I said I was gonna bring up my book. Well, to tell you the truth, remember what I was talking about dystopian future where animals have replaced humans? I found out that even my book's kinda doing that. Although all the characters in my book are kinda hybrids. The main hero is named Ricky the Hedge Possum. And despite the possum title, he's actually based on a prehensile-tailed porcupine because they're the most adorable creatures on planet Earth. I love prehensile-tailed porcupines, they're so cute! Plus, they have the most adorable schnoz. I just want to go up to their big clown nose and squeeze it and go, honk, honk. They're so cute. But anyway, about my book, I kind of want to get rid of that from my book. Like, instead of having them be created by humans, they're just going to be created by unknown ancients. It could also make a lot of the magical aspects of my book more believable. Because the fact that they were created by humans is kind of counterproductive to it. I mean, there are these portal stones. You can toss them about and you can teleport with them if you're holding the claw stone. And then there's the portal pulse system. That's really awesome. And here we go. Here's a new enemy. And now it's time to stop. Hammer time. Oh, can't be grappled, it looks like. On a little uppercut. Oh, okay. That wasn't very good. Come on, you got some... Dang, he's kind of tough, actually. Alright, you want some uppercut? Take that. And... Haha, missed me. And... Fatality! Yeah! Ah, these enemies are back? Okay, no problem. I think I can take them on. There we go. There, I put them in against each other. Fatality! Alright, one more. Woo! Getting used to that attack. Grappling enemies in the air. It's really not bad. It's just that it's kind of difficult because the enemies are small. And now that the power's back, the gears are turning again. Alright. Okay, so I gotta scale these spinning gears, I guess. all the way to that door. Still can't go in there, Rayton. Gotta climb up. Okay. I don't really have much to say. I guess I could go back to talking about my book. Alright, you got Ricky the Hedge Possum. You got Maya the Aleppo, who is like his role model. And then you got Toasty the Winged Dragon Pig. He's a preschool teacher as well as a superhero. And then you got Dobbins the Bear. He's a martial artist, specifically a Muay Thai expert. Oh, I guess I died again. Whoa! With the characters in my book, for the most part, I want them to be diverse. Although a lot of them are sumo wrestlers now I think about it. Fatality! But not all of them. Yes, they do make up a good chunk of the characters, but I want them to be supported with a lot of other cool characters. I mean, Maya herself is just this big hunk of man. She's basically a hippo-alligator hybrid. And if you know she's part hippo, you know she's gonna be huge. When it comes to the diversity of the cast, I did kind of want to have a lot of species in my cast. Like all these different hybrid characters. I want the characters to be visually interesting as well as interesting characters, because I kind of want this book to become a cartoon one day. And speaking of which, one problem I'm having with my book is writing Ricky. I'm doing a book swap with someone else, and she's giving me some pretty good advice. And again, I'm not sure if it's a he or a she. The person's name is Douglas. I've not known that to be a girl's name, but the main protagonist in her book is a girl. That doesn't mean anything, but still. I guess I could ask the person. But anyway, she's given me pretty good advice. And one thing she mentioned is that Ricky isn't really that likable of a character. One of his defining traits is that he is arrogant. And I want to keep that about his character, but I still want to balance it out with likable traits.
What a nerve-wracking sound. Must have been the mechanical monster that Master Wu mentioned.
Like, one thing I've been having him do is stop to think about his actions. Sometimes he'll be arrogant without thinking, but when someone points out his arrogance, oftentimes he'll feel bad for himself. He is also a person that cares deeply about his friends, though I haven't really been doing a good job of writing that into his character. And I really should go back and work on some of my chapters and help make him a more likable character, while keeping that arrogance to him that makes him more balanced, as well as giving him a less experience than his peers. Like, that is another thing. He does tend to get into a lot of fights, but he tends to lose a lot.
Oh, well, it's the bunny himself. I'll avenge you, Feral. Rest in peace now.
Alright, this guy looks kinda tough. But you really need me to say that? You can kinda see that I was taking a few hits earlier. But anyway, so far I've only written a handful of fights for him in the book, but he's actually lost more fights than he's won. He's a character that kinda has to earn his way to victory. He's a character that has to earn the ability to beat his opponents. He doesn't just start out with it. And that's one of the reasons I'm trying to make him a likable character, by making it so he doesn't just win all the time. His major crux is that because he's a big, heavy sumo wrestling monster, he's rather slow. The opponents that tend to beat him are very fast and small. Not every opponent is like that, but those are the ones that generally give him the most problems. And it's kind of subversive, because usually the big guy is considered the top dog. And he died again. Resurrected. You're probably wondering why I keep doing that. Have you ever played the game Two Worlds? The dialogue in that game is kinda silly. And to be honest, some of the things he does, the main character, especially when he goes, whoa, after being resurrected, I just can't help but crack up at. So anyway, about my book. If big guys are supposed to be the top dogs, then why is media constantly showing the smaller guys prevailing over them with their speed? And why is it in fighting games and other media, the big guys are usually low or bottom tier, while the smaller, faster guys are usually top tier or considered broken? Even when they're not. I mean, don't even get me started with Smash Brothers, and how the top tier characters are always the dudes with the absolute worst kill potential. Just, okay, anyway, I kind of want to subvert that. If media has taught me anything, big guys have problems fighting opponents that are faster than them. So why not use that as a plot device? Have Ricky learn to fight intelligently against faster opponents instead of using brute force all the time. It could be a good way to make the big guy the underdog. But I really need to go back and give him a decent prologue. Right now, he's kinda underdeveloped, and I really need to do him better. Alright, we beat that boss. Now, where do we go? Alright, a healing and combo learning station. Let's see what I want to learn. I don't really have anything to learn. No. Alright, I have to let off some steam right now. I just got done playing some Brawlhalla. And it feels like for the longest time they only had 3 difficulties and it went up to hard. And hard difficulty always seemed a little too easy. Always kind of wish there was a harder difficulty. Eventually, they did come out with extreme difficulty and chosen difficulty. Oh, ho, 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 Baalf. Careful what you wish for. First time fighting chosen difficulty was pain. Pain, suffering, frustration, a bitter hatred towards all life on planet Earth. My God! Chosen difficulty is just, oh my God, just no. Let me put it this way. Easy difficulty, that's the pushover difficulty. No matter how bad you are at Brawlhalla, you should be able to beat easy difficulty. Sorry, slurred my words there. Medium difficulty. A little better, not much. Hard difficulty. A difficulty that's challenging, but mortal players can beat it. Ooh, what do we got here? Everybody was kung fu fighting. Did you know that the Oriental riff, or that's actually from a racist cartoon? At least, according to what I've read online. Okay. So anyway, easy difficulty is pushover difficulty. Medium difficulty is harder, but not much. Hard difficulty is for mortal players. Players who've been playing for a while. Players who've learned all the ropes. Extreme difficulty is for professional players only. My God, extreme difficulty is brutal. They can read most of your movements, react perfectly to most of your movements, and just, no. As for chosen difficulty Chosen difficulty is for Brawlhalla gods. The chosen difficulty AI is inhuman. It reacts perfectly to almost everything you do, is always faster than you, can dodge just about everything you do. The only way to beat it is to be a Brawlhalla god or to get lucky. And just, oh my god. And it makes me wonder why I never tried to be an angry gamer. You know, like angry video game nerd and whatnot. I never tried that because there's so many other people doing it, and I want my own identity. I guess I ended up choosing the misanthropic fat fur fan. I guess that's one you never see. Plus, I wanted something genuine, something that's true to myself. You think my misanthropic rants are trolling or just an attempt to be edgy and whatnot? In fact, I'm actually dead serious with a lot of stuff I say. A lot of my misanthropic rants are me venting my rage out on media. And, oh boy, you think I'm bad? You should check out the Misanthropy Reddit if you think I'm bad. Some of the stuff they say there is just horrifying, to say the least. And yet, when I'm at my worst, sometimes I feel that way out of anger. But that's all it is, anger, not intent. Well, anger and frustration. Did I die, you guys? Oh, weird, I thought I died. Alright, but I really need to get off that discussion. Okay, let's see here. Ooh, might take some thought processing. There we go. Dang it. Here I am. Before I drop the misanthropy discussion, I will say one thing. I know I keep saying my frustration out on media and whatnot, but to be honest, it's complicated. Just, I really don't want to go into it now I think about it. Sorry I brought it up. Okay, what else could I talk about? I mean, I mentioned I'm doing a book swap, but should I really be saying what my friend's book is about? I feel like, out of respect, I should keep that classified. Although, I really have no problems with people describing my book, now I think about it. But there is a disclaimer, and I really should honor it, so... Still, it's nice to get a book swap with someone, and to get some good advice. I have been getting good advice over the years. I'm hoping that helps me out in making a decent book, even if it is about sumo wrestling monsters. I'm sorry, fat furs are cool. They can be, anyway. It depends on the style, though. I don't like just any fat fur style. But you really want me to discuss fat furs in this video? Like, really? Is that something I really should be talking about? Ay. Well, a lot of times these playthrough videos are just an excuse for me to talk about stuff that's on my mind. Sometimes I don't have much to say. Other than I can't get over how cool Rayton is. I feel like I should do a video about all the cool bunny characters in media. I have plenty of bunny video games. Oh, what do we got here?
Warning. Unauthorized biological organism detected. Executing termination protocol.
Here comes Big Boss. Hoo-ha! Let's get it on. Well, I guess I could talk about my RPG. I'm making an RPG in RPG Maker 2003, and I finally got my official copy to work again. I've been using a pirated copy because I couldn't get the official copy to work. Well, I could go on to my criminal past. As a pirater of RPG Maker, anyway. Yeah, believe it or not, I have downloaded pirated versions of RPG Maker 2000, RPG Maker 2003, and RPG Maker DX? No, XP, XD, something or other. The one after RPG Maker 2003. But one day, I don't know, I joined the RPG Maker 2000, not the RPG Maker 2000, the RPG Maker community, and I was showing off my game Earthquake Warriors, and I couldn't get people to play it because I was using a pirated copy. I kinda got into trouble with it, so I decided to spend $100, 100 smackaroos, on a Steam card and buy all 3 of the RPG Makers that I pirated. It's kind of a coming clean story, or a cleaning up your act story. Jesus, this thing is bullet hell right now. Whoa, okay. Nice defense system, good defense system. Alright, got that one destroyed again. Ah, not the lasers. Be nice with the lasers. Be nice with the turrets. Oh boy. Alright. 2 more turrets to destroy. Alright, and the core should be easy pickings now. Come on, take that. Alright. Anyway, about Earthquake Warriors RPG, I'm not going to go into full details because, as you'd expect, it's a fat-fur game. But, I don't know, I was working on it a long time ago, and I just decided to go back to it. And, I don't know, Wait, what's this? Rayton has acquired...
Better head back to Torch
Wait
Tower
for it.
now.
A license to drill. Okay, so that joke wasn't funny the first time. Seriously, he's got a license to drill now. And wow, you can switch weapons on the fly. That is very handy, if I must say myself. One reason I stopped working on Earthquake Warriors RPG was because at the time I thought it was crap. It was a bunch of ideas that weren't the best executed and some unpolished characters and just... But then I realized, does it need to be the most polished thing ever? As long as it's fun, who cares? It's not like I'm selling the game. And there are some cool features. You can save hostages, you can become a giant boss character. Yeah, pretty cool. And even Artie from Heavy Artillery is in it. Though only his head moves, not his whole body. And oh boy, I'm really hoping some spriters will come and help me create some real full motion Gordo Grande forms, but no one seems to be interested, unfortunately. Alright. You know, the F.I.S.T kind of took some time to get used to, but it looks like the drill is going to take even more time to get used to. Its gameplay is a little stiffish. Oh, what do we get here? I don't know if stiff is the word, but I'll talk more after I free this rat from this barrel. What do you got to say, little guy?
Well now, a fur doesn't manage to find its way to this corner of the woods. Please, allow me to introduce myself. I am Flying Mouse, Prince of Thieves.
So how did you end up trapped in a wooden barrel?
Come on, it's called a bunker. Say, did you end up here because of an iron dog trap?
I heard you shouting help.
Rubbish, I was just joking. I wanted to lure some iron dogs over to rob them blind.
Oh, keep shouting then. I'm out.
Hey, come back! You found me out. Here's something to buy your silence. The only way to open this box is with my skeleton key. You can have this skeleton key. You won't find a priceless treasure like it anywhere else. Off you go. We have a deal, so don't tell anyone I'm here.
I'll admit, the voice acting isn't exactly top-notch, but it's not the worst thing ever. And it's another one of those problems I don't really care about that much. Doesn't really affect the gameplay, so who cares if the voice acting isn't perfect? Alright, where am I? Okay. Okay, I have a confession to make. I'm gonna be bringing up my map a lot in my third video, so just a heads up that that's something you might want to get used to. And what the heck? Oh, graphics didn't load right away. And yeah, that's another thing I noticed about this game, is that in some areas, graphics will not load right away. But once again, that doesn't really affect the gameplay that much. Alright, let's try this drill out. It's kinda weird. You can't just smoothly use it like you could the F.I.S.T. It takes a lot of getting used to. You can hold down the drill buttons for different attacks. You can bring enemies to you or blow them away. And the way it's designed is, well, again, it's hard to explain, but I'll try my best. See, you can tap the usual combination of buttons like you could with the F.I.S.T, but the drill's a lot slower. It doesn't react as quickly as the F.I.S.T, so it doesn't feel quite as smooth. Still, it is fun to use at times. Plus, the gliding mechanic's kinda cool. Though I can imagine most people who play this game are going to stick with the F.I.S.T. It just plays better. Though I have had some fun with the drill. I have had some fun with pulling off some of its combos. Plus, it gets a projectile, which is cool. Come on, you pesky little buggers. And I'm dead again. Oh boy. That's been happening a lot. I'm alive again. Now that I think about it, I do have one more thing I could say about my book. For the longest time, I was portraying it or advertising it as a fat fur book. It kinda isn't. I mean, yeah, a lot of the characters are sumo wrestlers, but that's about it. They do like to bump some of their enemies with their tummy, though. But it's not really sexual or kinky or anything like that. It's played pretty cleanly and pretty straight. I just like those big, heavy guys. It has to do with size presence. The bigger you are, the more dense your design is, the better your size presence is, the more imposing you are. That's kind of the general idea. Alright, I think I've said most of the basic details about my book. I mean, I don't want to go too far into my book. I don't want to spoil it. Mostly, I'm just telling you the basics. It stars Ricky the Hedge Possum, a young kid who was bullied when he was young. He He eventually finds the art of sumo tora through watching sumo wrestling on television. His favorite sumo wrestler being Champion Pharaoh Fang, aka Maya. Yeah, the sumo wrestling champion of the Terrawet Swamps is a female. So what, are we gonna make a big deal out of it? What do I look like, a social justice warrior?
I should be able to use the transformer drill to ride the updraft up there.
Come to think of it, that sometimes people call me that because of my misanthropic and anti-environmental rants and whatnot. Just, I don't want to think of myself as being a social justice warrior. It's just that sometimes, never mind, I don't want to go into that. And yeah, but there's one thing. His dad resents him. His dad resents Sumo Tora because part of it is because he just thinks that Ricky is making himself fat. That is not why he is into Sumo Tora.
Run a diagnostic for me. My voltage keeps fluctuating. Are you sure? We just started. How have you already lost so much power? It's nerves. That rabbit Furball gave the mechanical core the smackdown. We're the only ones left at the power station. Do you think we might be unlucky enough to run into him? Don't worry. If something goes wrong, just use the teleporter to escape. I'm out of here.
If the Iron Dogs wanted to use it to escape, the machine should lead to the surface.
The prologue goes into his childhood and how he became a Sumo Torin, which is someone who practices how you would build yourself up as a sumo wrestler, but not necessarily become a sumo wrestler, even though Ricky does want to become a famous sumo wrestler. However, there is one thing in his way, and I'm not going to spoil it. But in the end, he becomes a crime fighter instead. He just wants to show his dad the power of Sumo Tora and how it's helped him in life. And yeah, it actually has. But again, that goes into spoiler territory. And he eventually does run into his childhood hero, Maya, or Pharaoh Fang. And she's accompanied by Toasty, the winged dragon pig, who knows a lot of magical skills, as well as martial artist Dobbins McBarrows. And honestly, I just really like these characters. They become some of my favorite original characters. Fatality! And it's not surprising that I'd want to write a book about them. And yes, all of them are Sumo Torins, but not all the characters in the book are Sumo Torins. One of Ricky's best friends is Casey, an Ermine monkey hybrid. He's not a Sumo Torin. There's Hunter, the leader of the Range Rangers, a rival hero group. He is pretty much the opposite of a Sumo Torin, as well as all of his friends and his group in general. There's Aziz, which is kind of his workplace bully, but he gets developed into something else later in the story. In fact, you kind of get an idea of why all the characters became the way they did, and a lot of them was, as I've said before, because of bullying. Some were bullied by Sumo Torins, and that's why they hate Sumo Tora. Others were bullied by non-Sumo Torins, but became the way they are anyway. And just, yeah, to be honest, it's kind of relatable for me because I was bullied a lot as a kid, and it's kind of something from the heart. Something about the effects of bullying, how understated it can be. Oh boy, it looks like we got one more final battle. There's a lot of tough enemies here. Surprised I'm going with the drill, but it has some pretty strong and cool attacks. You can get used to it. Once you get used to it, it is kind of fun to see the attacks, if nothing else. But like I said, most people are going to try and use their fist. Then there's the main villainess of the story, Jenny Sequoia. You know, like, je ne sais quoi? I don't know what. And, she's another character I'm having a hard time developing. Like, how I'm writing her right now, it's unclear whether she is real or not. And for the most part, I'm leaning towards her being real. Fatality! But, I don't know, I feel like she's another character I could develop better. But she doesn't really get shown until near the end of the book. That's assuming I decide to make her real. But that's going into spoiler territory again. Alright, one final enemy and I think we're done. Come on. Yoo! Alright. I think we took out all of them. Okay, let's see what's in the next room. Oh, back here again. Okay, I guess this is a good place to end part 2. I hope you enjoyed hearing a little bit about my book and my RPG. And sorry about the ranting earlier. I kinda brought Big Mad along to poke fun at myself. Oh well, until next time, I'm Baalf, and the cave is closed.